No one really explains what actually happens when you're trying to decide whether to sell your home or turn it into a rental property here in Colorado Springs, especially when you're on a PCS timeline. Today, I'm going to walk you through what that decision really looks like step by step, so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. If you're in the military and you've got orders coming up, this is one of the biggest decisions you'll face. And it's not just about selling versus renting. It's about timing, finances, risk, and what your next few years could look like depending on the path you choose. I've worked with a lot of military families going through this exact situation, and the biggest challenge is that no one breaks this down in a way that actually makes sense. So let's simplify it. At a high level, there are really three phases to the decision. First, you need to understand your current position, your equity, your loan, and your timeline. Second, you need to evaluate both paths, selling versus renting, based on your situation. And third, you commit to a strategy and execute it in a way that aligns with your PCS timeline. Let's walk through each step. Step one is understanding your current position. Before you even think about selling or renting, you need to know where you stand financially. That means understanding how much equity you have in your home, what your current interest rate is, and what your estimated monthly payment looks like compared to potential rent. You also need to understand your VA loan position. If your VA loan entitlement is tied up in this home, that matters, because selling the home can release that entitlement so you can use it freely again at your next duty station. That's a big piece a lot of people don't realize until later. You also need to factor in your timeline. If your report date is coming up in the next few months, your options are very different than if you have 6 to 12 months to plan. This step is all about clarity, because without it, everything else becomes a guess. Step two is evaluating the selling path. If you decide to sell, what actually happens? You'll go through preparation, getting the home ready, possibly handling repairs or updates. Then you list the home, go through showings, negotiate offers, and move into contract. From there, it's inspections, appraisal, and closing, all while coordinating your move and PCS timeline. But here's what really matters about selling. Selling releases your VA entitlement so you can move forward without limitations at your next duty station. If you have equity, you're able to take those funds with you, which can give you flexibility for your next purchase, reserves, or just peace of mind during your move. And just as important, the house is behind you. You're not managing it from across the country. You're not dealing with tenants, repairs, or unexpected issues while adjusting to a new duty station. You get a clean break and the ability to fully focus on your next chapter. Now let's look at the rental path. Turning your home into a rental can absolutely be the right move in certain situations. What you're doing here is converting your home into an investment. Someone else is making the monthly payment, helping you pay down your loan, while the property has the potential to appreciate over time. Real estate has historically been one of the more stable, long-term investment options, and this is how many people begin building a portfolio. But here's what actually happens behind the scenes. You need to determine if the rent realistically covers your full cost, mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. You need to decide if you're managing the property yourself or hiring a property manager. And you need to be prepared for the responsibilities that come with ownership, because tenants won't always care for the home the way you would. Carpets, walls, general cleanliness, those things can take a hit over time. When appliances fail, it's on you to replace them. That could be refrigerators, a range, or something more expensive like a furnace. If there's an insurance claim, you're still responsible for the deductibles, whether that's a roof replacement or another major repair. And between tenants, you may need to replace carpet or repaint the home just to get it ready again or to prepare it for sale down the road. those costs can eat into your profits if you're not planning for them up front. Now, right around this point is where most people start realizing they don't just need information, they need clarity specific to their situation. If this raises questions about your situation, there's a link in the description where you can get clarity or ask us directly, because this decision is never one size fits all. Now, let's talk about a few common misconceptions. The first one is that renting is always the better long-term financial move. Sometimes it is, but if the numbers don't work or if the risks outweigh the benefits for your situation, it can create more stress than it's worth. The second is that selling means you're missing out on future opportunity. But if selling puts you in a stronger position for your next purchase or simplifies your transition, that can be the smarter move. And third is thinking you can wait and figure it out later. Both of these paths require planning. Waiting too long limits your options, especially on a PCS timeline. So how do we actually make the decision? It comes down to three things: your timeline, how soon you need to move, your financial position, equity, payment, rent potential, and VA entitlement. And your long-term plan, are you trying to simplify your move or build something over time? There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but there is a right answer for you, and it becomes a lot clearer when you walk through this step by step instead of guessing. At the end of the day, this isn't just a real estate decision. It's a strategy decision that affects your finances, your stress level during PCS, and your flexibility at your next location. If this was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a future video. And check out this next video. It builds on what we just talked about and will help you take the next step.